Mark Seifter.
And I'm Linda Zies Palmer.
And this is Arcane Mark. Hello, everyone.
Hello, and welcome to Arcane Mark. Today, we are going to be building a monster from concept to completely ready to throw into your game. And we're going to be basing that off of ideas that our live viewers find in chat. Our theme today is Halloween Monster. Now, Halloween Monster is a pretty broad concept. I mean, pretty much any monster you might think, well, it could have a costume of that. Or that may be involved in a scary story or something like that. So we have a lot of potential ideas that we may go in here, whether we wind up with something that's more like the horror movie scary, or something that's more campy, or something that's more based on various cultural touchstones.
We're going to build this monster from scratch based on ideas that are coming in chat. So we have not seen any of these ideas in advance, or at least no more in advance than just being put up in chat right before this stream started when the first idea got in here. So anyone who's here, type out your concept. Our first concept is the trick-or-treator, who is a sort of fae type creature that disguises as a costumed child. So I'll just put trick-or-treator.
They have an ability to change costume that grants them monster abilities based on that costume. Cool. Very thematic. It looks like we have a second idea in here, too.
It's the Vengeful Pumpkin. Tired of being mutilated by humans.
The bee turned into a smiley face on the pole there. Like an angry gourd leshy, yeah.
The Vengeful
Pumpkin. Pumpkin. Oh, vengeance.
That's definitely a good Halloween monster, too.
Two very solid ideas already.
Reminds me of your adventure where people could carve a pumpkin and then the pumpkins later are angry.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Does anyone else have any other ideas for a concept for a Halloween monster? Otherwise, we can have a vote between the trick-or-treator and the Vengeful Pumpkin. It's probably just going to be between those two for now, it looks like. So I'm just going to put that in here. Also, it's possible that it's just going to be 1-to-1, so I will go ahead and roll a d6.
Mm-hmm.
To see what happens here. There we go.
We know what the result will be if the votes are a tie.
That's right. So we have a vote between A and B for the Vengeful Pumpkin and the Trick-or-treator.
Pumpkin carving is much less fun when the pumpkin gets a knife. I totally imagine like a campy Halloween trailer with that.
Yes.
In a world.
A Halloween B movie.
Yes. Yeah.
The pumpkin is fed up and it's not gonna take it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it looks like we have two votes for B because Math Guy is going to play Myth Speakers. All right. Then we are going to do the pumpkin.
Okay. So we have our Vengeful Pumpkin. So we know that right away that we have an intelligent creature. We know that we have a motivation. Pumpkin. So probably a plant type creature.
It's almost definitely going to be a plant because it is the pumpkin, come to let. It may have some additional creature types as well if it's become inhabited by like a spirit or a fae, or something else, but it definitely is going to at least be a plant because it's not just that it has a shape like a pumpkin and it's a construct. It is the pumpkin, and it's just fed up by having its friends mutilated with carving knives during the holiday season. So roughly
how high level are we thinking for this? For this pumpkin, Vengeful Pumpkin.
It doesn't seem that high level to me.
Yeah, probably not.
You could have like a great pumpkin that was higher level, but like this particular Vengeful Pumpkin seems to me like it's lower level. It goes after probably basic commoner and like, you know, ordinary folks who are carving up pumpkins, but is maybe not that dangerous for like a trained adventurer to fight this pumpkin. That's sort of my instincts, but we'll see what everyone in chat thinks about.
There's a question, are awakened pumpkins a thing, or is that just a leshy?
So, I mean, awakened pumpkins could be a thing. There is a there's magic that allows you to sort of awaken plants or animals.
Yeah, whereas
become more
Leshies are like,
intelligent.
they're specifically a nature spirit inside. So I'm
That's been
guessing this is
incarnated.
probably not an incarnate nature spirit, but it's something different from a Leshie.
I think it may be an intelligent pumpkin, kind of like the idea of awakened, where it just kind of has higher intelligence.
Yeah.
But that it is also animated and has the ability to move around.
It's probably going to be using its vines for movement and for some of its abilities as well.
And so Kojo is also thinking lower level. It's just going after townsfolk. It's not necessarily strong enough to fight like an adventurer. So,
and this also would mean that if you wanted to have a group of them, you could have an attack from a pumpkin patch.
that is true. You could even create like a swarm of little pumpkins that would be friends with these pumpkins. So honestly, I think that a pumpkin creature, I was gonna say somewhere around level 1. It may even be less than level 1. Level 1 would mean that even a starting adventurer, they might have a tough time in a solo fight against this pumpkin. Whereas if it was level 0, that would mean that even a starting adventurer would be expected to win against this pumpkin. And level -1 would mean this is like among the weakest sort of types of opponents. So I think it would be somewhere in there, in that range.
Yeah.
What were you thinking, Linda?
I was thinking probably somewhere around there too. Because then because the idea that you could potentially have multiples even from the lowest level of adventurers. But I would say -1 could be difficult in terms of having the design space to put abilities in it that are beyond the basic how does it deal damage.
That's true. I think 1 might be good so that it can like pretty consistently beat a number of townsfolk teaming up. Whereas if it was like -1, for example, eventually someone would hit it with a bludgeoning weapon and kill it because -1s have almost no hit points.
I could also potentially see 2 if you wanted them to be more like this is the like kind of the boss that your level 1 party is fighting up against, and then it has some tiny like maybe level -1 pumpkin minion.
I could also see like an elite 1 as being like the leader of them. So we're gonna say it's level 1, and it is going to be the instead of pumpkin carving, the carving pumpkin.
Carving pumpkin. Yes. Level 2 could be the pumpkin king. Indeed.
Carving pumpkin is gonna be a level 1, and it's gonna be plant. And, like, maybe we'll add something else later on based on our concept. So, it sounds like it's just, like, it is a pumpkin. So, some of those pumpkins are actually size small.
Yeah.
Some of them are actually size small.
So, I think it could be cool to have this be a giant pumpkin.
It could even be medium if it's as big as a person. Let's see. We can look up what is, like, world's largest pumpkin. Like, in real life, there was a pumpkin that was
weighed
2,819 pounds. It was obviously, looking at it, like at least sized large.
Yes.
If not huge.
So
having one that was the size of a human and was size medium is very reasonable compared to the world
maybe these
record.
ones are medium then, and then you could hypothetically have like more advanced ones that were even larger.
That is very, very big pumpkin.
Because they're probably not necessarily going to have world record ones. Also, like, do we want this pumpkin to be able to blend in with a pumpkin patch? Probably not. It doesn't necessarily need to be able to. By the time it's a medium, it's like,
I think that given that real pumpkins can grow to that size, medium is reasonable. And it's like, yes, it's obviously a big and strong pumpkin at this point. That's why it can beat multiple villagers on its own. It is a murder pumpkin. There we go. It looks like Rico's was distracted getting food and is not disappointed that everything went pumpkin.
Alright, so we got our medium plant.
So we've got this plant.
Yeah.
It sounds like it wants to carve you up.
So
as I remember when you were like recently at Paizo and you were talking about how pumpkins who gourd leshies who have those carved in faces, they don't maybe realize that if they take a knife to your face that it could be a problem. This one is doing it intentionally.
I feel like they're probably, in terms of their offense, like they're probably more strengthy than dexy, because if they have to like gouge in and carve.
Yeah, it's very much, you can't just be like, oh, I'll just finesse with the dex.
Or whatever.
they're not just doing like graceful, making little flowers out of they're their food.
Yeah.
They're really carving into it, so they definitely are going to be strength based. And it's a big pumpkin. It probably has decent constitution.
Yeah.
I don't think like its dexterity is the worst of all time, probably, but it is originally a pumpkin, which are like plants, so it's probably also not very good.
Yeah, I could say I'm honestly not quite sure how a pumpkin would carve people. I'm imagining holding like knives or other weapons and twisted pumpkin vines.
I think they picked up the weapons that were used to destroy them, and they're now going to use it to defeat those.
Oh yeah, there's an idea of a spit pumpkin seed attack. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and
someone
left Dave also talked
about
someone left carving tools around,
yeah.
and now they're using it.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
yes, I think spitting pumpkin seeds would be awesome. We're definitely going to include that.
Rico says it makes no sense because it isn't how pumpkin spice works, but I feel like it also have a pumpkin spice attack. This is a Halloween monster. It
could have a pumpkin spice attack.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to give it some ability modifiers, so it's going to have +4 strength. It's going to have +3 constitution.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's
gonna
like
have
1 dex.
Maybe 2 wisdom because it knows about nature. 1 dexterity, which is the low. And it's...
For charisma...
Its charisma is probably also...
It's like not amazing. It's not... We wouldn't want a penalty because it's probably going to want to be able to intimidate people.
Yeah, we'll give it 2. And its intelligence is 0.
Yeah, sounds good.
It's about as smart as a person. Maybe its intelligence is -1.
Mm-hmm. That works.
It's a little bit not as smart as a person. Okay, so that's where its attributes are looking at, which I will also put in chat so that everybody can see it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're moving from there, we're going to figure out what skills it has. As well as its general overall perception. So given that it had a +2 from wisdom, its perception is probably going to be something like 7, which is moderate perception.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily going to be the stealthiest of creatures. So having a perception that's fairly reasonable is good so that it has something decent to use for initiative.
So it's moderate. It's not it's not the most perceptive. It's not really that stealthy, but it may be able to try to hide among very large pumpkins. But they'd have to be pretty large. And likely, it might have, like, low light vision.
Yeah. Does it shed light?
Well, did it already get carved out and have, like, a lantern put inside of it, like a jack-o'-lantern? Or is it just the pumpkin that didn't get mutilated like the other pumpkins?
I think maybe, well, I'm also thinking about, like, to try to distinguish it a little bit from the jack-o'-lantern monster that already exists in Pathfinder.
It is a PF1 monster only.
That's true, that's true.
The PF1 jack-o'-lantern, by the way, explodes, which we were not thinking of doing with with fear aura, can shrink and it ensnares you with its vines, any of which we can choose. It also has a breath weapon of fire. So we were already not considering any of these things. So we're in
athletics.
good shape.
So they can trip people.
Yeah, athletics seems like a very good choice. So athletics for sure. So we're gonna give it I think 7 athletics.
It probably has nature.
I'd say probably. It probably has some nature. It knows about pumpkins at the very least. So we'll give it 5 nature and 5 intimidation.
Intimidation, yeah. Doesn't necessarily need, like, survival. I don't necessarily seeing it being super acrobatic. Does it have some kind of skill that it uses? Does it have some kind of skill it uses for carving? Medicine?
Or crafting?
Or crafting?
Crafting for carving, but it's just not very good at it. Yeah. So you wind up... It carves into you and you wind up looking pretty awful.
Yes.
Okay, and it probably does have stealth, but its dexterity is just not very high.
So it has it, it exists.
It has it. It's at that high end of low.
Yeah,
it's the highest amount that can still be
probably
low.
This one didn't get carved yet. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So then, and we have intimidation on here.
Yeah, we've got intimidation just flat out as an option, so it could demoralize you.
Sounds good.
Speaking of which, languages, it knows Common because that's the language of the oppressor, and also Fey because that is the
Fey
Sylvan
plant also.
Probably not, but
I don't think
that's
so,
just the name of Sylvan now.
Yeah.
Is Fey. It just I wish they could have come up with a name that was not the D&D Sylvan, but was also just not the word Fae, because it just makes the language seem inappropriate for a large number of creatures that haven't. I've said this before, when most people got upset at some of the name changes, I like most of them. The Fae language is like the one that I really don't. So we've got languages common in Fae, and then we're going to move on. And Kojo says it probably has friends that are Fae. I bet it does. Like, kind of evil Fae, or like Fae that don't like humans at the very least.
Vengeful Fae.
Vengeful Fae. Vengeful house spirits. Alright, so in terms of AC, it's probably...
We're thinking about like how much is coming from AC versus hit points. I mean, a pumpkin's outer shell could be decently defensive.
It's a frontliner, so we could either do high AC and moderate hit points.
Oh, there was also an idea of outside is hard and inside is soft, so maybe it has like a construct armor type thing that once you break through that outer shell...
I could see that. It may also be weak to something like...
slashing?
So, the thing is, if you're slashing it, you have to go up against, like, the entire outer shell, whereas if you bludgeon it... If you bludgeon it, you can just smack an entire chunk in. Although, if you pierce it, you can make a hole in it. The question is, does it care, or does it now just have, like, a pumpkin face when you pierce it? Like, of those three, I feel like bludgeoning is going to mess it up the most, because it just really shatters it, where maybe it's just like, yeah, you pierced it, and now it's got a little eye.
Yeah, so if people are going around smashing the pumpkins, then...
Smashing pumpkins. Yeah. If it has... But maybe it gets more upset about piercing damage, even though it's not weak to it, because that reminds it of the carving that happened.
Yes.
So maybe, like, it's like a specific bespoke thing that happens if you do piercing damage to it. So we're going to do that. So we're going to give it 16, the high AC, but we're going to give it a few different interesting things that are going to happen to it. In terms of its saving throws, its worst is going to be reflex.
Its best is probably fortitude then, too.
Yeah, so it's going to be reflex, is going to be +4, which is the low, and its fortitude is going to be, fortitude can be, like, I don't know.
10?
10 is the high, but that is like... Oh, no, wait. Yeah, that is pretty hard to get at first level. It would have to be basically a master at fortitude. The other option is it could have... well, yeah, I guess because it's easy for it to have 7 will. And I can't really see it having much higher than 7 will either, so it could just have a particularly good fortitude.
But that's what happens with, like, if you're trying... Getting that high number pretty much always requires you to do master at these low levels when the attributes can't be super high.
Yeah, that's probably true. And then when we're going into hit points, then we're going to give it more...
talking about sort of back calculating how would you have gotten that number.
We're going to give it more hit points because it's going to have some weaknesses to a variety of things. So if it has, say...
Weakness 3, maybe, at level 1?
It's level 1, but we could just give it a...
You could also give it out to 5, potentially, if you wanted to be really weak to it, but then
it's going to have a lot of hit points, and it can be a pain in the butt.
So I would think 3, probably.
Probably 3. So in that case, we can give it, like, 32 hit points, weaknesses... 3, bludgeoning 3, and then it also has like carving rage, which is what's gonna happen when it gets hit by piercing damage.
So when you say carving rage, is that gonna like decrease defenses in some way, but make it angrier, and so it does more damage?
Probably. It may attack the person who did it piercing damage.
Yeah.
Because that reminds it of what happened to its friends. All right. So that all being said, we are in good shape to move on to what a lot of people were interested in, which is its special attacks here. So it's got its carving knife that it took from other people. It's got a pumpkin seed.
And we had something pumpkin spice related.
Yes.
Is pumpkin spice gonna be like a thing that lobs at people? Like an
Yeah, I think
like
it's
an
gonna
alchemist
be
fire type thing that is splash weapon that like explodes.
or it like
Or
it's like
yeah,
a
pumpkin
cone.
spice could also be a cone.
Like a pumpkin spice spray, almost like pepper spray with pumpkin spice. And then it also has carving rage.
Now there was also the mention of tripping. So does it have like maybe it has a vine attack that has like longer reach and can trip things?
So it could have a vine attack that just has like longer reach and maybe has the trip trait.
Yeah. It wouldn't be as damaging as the carving knife, but it would.
And it may be agile as well.
Yeah.
Although actually the carving knife, well, we can make the carving knife be more like
Well, is it a pumpkin carving knife or is it coming at people with like a machete or some shit?
Like it could be a machete. Cuz machete is a thing and there's also like war razors and other things like that. Like machete is like a D6 slashing deadly D8 sweep. So we could say that the carving knife is like a machete.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't have to be something that people would necessarily use to carve pumpkins, I guess. It's just be like it picked up the largest weapon they could get.
You know, though, it probably should do piercing, given that we're saying that piercing is what is carving it. So maybe it's a war razor.
Yeah, that works.
I think that's piercing. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's also slashing. No, that's also slashing. What actually does piercing that's in that range and is a knife? Knife weapon group. Let's find out. I mean, we don't have to be exactly the same as an existing weapon either with this, but it would be kind of weird if it was like that bespoke and it was like the only way to get it is to kill this angry pumpkin. But where did the pumpkin get it? It was also from a person. And now we're all confused with what's going on. So we've got, it's not gonna be a bladed hoop or corset knife or Fenghuo Loon or fighting fan. Let's see.
I don't know what a wish knife was a claw blade piercing?
The claw blade is like you put it on top of your like
right,
cat
that's
claw.
a cat claw type one. Okay.
And kukri is slashing. Like a guitar should be piercing, but I'm not sure if it's like
it is.
Yeah, we could potentially do that. Let's see, what other options do we have here? What the heck is a lion scythe? That must be some kind of fantasy weapon.
Is it wielded by lion blades?
It might be. Or it's wielded by the lion gods of the temple city.
Oh, I see. It's like a martial sickle.
Yeah, so therefore it is, I guess as you might expect a scythe to be slashing. Let's see, what about orc knuckle daggers?
Is that going to be a...
It's martial. It's piercing. Oh, yeah, we're using...
Alright.
Orc knuckle daggers.
So that's agile and disarm.
So it can disarm other people's carving knives.
There you go.
Agile, disarm. And it's 1d6 plus 4 slashing, which is actually a lot of damage. For a creature to deal. At level 1, it is...
A bit much.
A bit much.
Especially for agile.
Especially for agile.
Well, what if it's more like a dagger then?
Well, it doesn't have to have full accuracy also.
That's true. It's just that it's agile, so usually an agile thing would be less damaging.
Yes, but it's obviously worse to be agile
Correct.
and be less accurate than to just be more accurate.
So if it was just like a +7, so it was a moderate accuracy
so
agile
if it was just a +7, it could be...
It's kind of like a wild swing that's inaccurate but hits really hard. So definitely we don't have any room for any bleed damage on this carving knife, which was another possibility I was considering. Unless there's like a twist the knife ability that they have that they can do as like a 2-action thing.
So the vine is 1d4 plus 4 bludgeoning, and then the carving range is after taking piercing damage, the carving pumpkin takes its damage is now, like, given that its accuracy loss, the agile, which the agile does not counteract, is fairly significant. Its damage is like a half a point lower than extreme. It's still pretty high. So, but the carving range is going to be, if the carving pumpkin takes piercing damage.
Oh, you also had it down here too.
Yes, that's where it should be. After taking piercing damage, the carving pumpkin takes a -1 penalty to AC for 1 round and gains a +2 status bonus to damage against the creature who dealt piercing damage.
So -1 to AC against everybody, and then +1 to damage
round.
only to that person. Yeah.
Most carving pumpkins will single-mindedly attack the foe who dared to carve them, unless that foe is inconvenient to reach. So, like, obviously, if you just do that and then run away for 2
and there was a
actions,
mention that maybe it had weakness to cinnamon nut or other spices. So I could also see, like, with these guys, you could allow carving rage to be triggered by other things too. It may not just be piercing damage in a place where pumpkins are often turned into pumpkin type desserts. Then maybe
at the GM's discretion, attacks involving condiments used in pumpkin recipes can also trigger carving rage. All right.
There we go.
So we've got carving knife, we've got vine, we've got carving rage. So we're gonna do pumpkin seed. That's gonna be its ranged attack, which is going to be range increment 20 feet, 1d4 plus probably 2 bludgeoning with the pumpkin seed, because it's kind of like it's kind of like a projectile weapon that is more like a composite bow or something like that. And so it's adding half of the strength, and that makes it like around a low damage attack. It's not the greatest range attack of all time, but it's something it can do. It's
not its focus.
Maybe I'll give it 30 feet.
30 feet
damage
makes
is pretty low.
So pumpkin spice spray, then we're probably going to want to do one of those once every 1d4 rounds type things.
Yep. So it's going to be 2 actions. The carving pumpkin unleashes its wrath in the form of various pumpkin spices in a pepper spray-esque code.
So this isn't actively fire then, so it's not necessarily doing fire damage.
Fire.
Is it? What kind of damage is this? Is this even really damaging, or is it more about debuffing based on?
I think it might do a little bit of poison damage, but also potentially like sicken you.
Sickening? I could also see like
and
dazzling
possibly like mess
that.
with your vision. Yeah, I think so. So it's gonna do this cone.
I want to see chat. Can you move that over a little? I want to see what's going on with chat.
Sure thing.
Oh, Kojo's saying that the idea seems more legitimate now that we're taking it seriously.
15-foot cone. So, creatures in the area must attempt a fortitude save.
And we can grab the DC in a bit.
With the following effects.
Yeah, Enrico was thinking sickening. Too much cloves, indeed.
That's right. Or we'll say, or they must attempt a fortitude save or takes 1d6 poison damage. The effects depend on the creature's saving throws. And so critical success, the creature is unaffected. Success,
yeah, don't take the cinnamon challenge.
The creature
Don't eat Tide Pods either.
Takes half damage and is dazzled for 1 round by the spices. They must flow. Failure, the creature takes full damage, is sickened 1, and is dazzled. Oh, before I should say this, the carving pumpkin can't
use it again for 1d4 rounds. Yeah.
This ability again for 1d4
Oh yeah, they say
rounds.
in chat. There's something wildly poignant about a pumpkin spice attack that makes the target unable to eat or drink. Yep. So disarm, take away the knife, take away the ability to eat pumpkins.
Alright, it's dazzled for 1 round by the spices, or until they spend an action
to
wiping the spices
out
of their eyes. It's dazzled for 1 minute by the spices.
Or until they spend,
Or until they spend an action, and then critical failure is the creature takes double damage, is sickened 2, is blinded for 1 round, and is dazzled until they spend an action wiping the spices out of their eyes.
Sounds good.
Maybe on the critical failure, they also have to say pumpkin spice latte.
'Tis the season.
Like all of those over-the-top ads for how everything has pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice latte goblet.
There you go.
Oh man, now I'm imagining them fighting together with like a goblin alchemist.
Alright, so we now have this angry pumpkin. Look at that. It's a carving pumpkin. Is a perfectly Halloween-y creature. It has, as a level 1 monster, it has plenty of abilities, 2 special abilities, as well as 3 different attacks, including a ranged attack.
The ranged attack, it has
one
a
of its
reach attack,
one of its
it can
special
disarm.
abilities is like is it good for it or is it bad for it?
We don't really know yet.
Plus a weakness to bludgeoning and some extra hit points to make up for that. So all in all, it has a lot of personality, and that personality is murder.
Yes.
All right, we did it, everybody. So we're going to put this into the Arcane Mark Discord in the Workshops channel. So if you want to see it, then all you have to do to get this and all of our other creatures is to go to tiny.cc/arcanemark, which I am
And if
putting
you're
in the
selecting
chat.
a pumpkin to carve this year for yourself, or your friends, or your family, be sure not to pick up a carving pumpkin along the way.
Or don't pick up one that's friends with a carving pumpkin.
Yes.
Because they'll come for you.
Is that the moral of the story?
Now, if you like these workshops as much as we do, then please like and subscribe. The workshops tend to not get very many views, so that'll show people that this is something that they should check out. If you want to support us, you can join, and if you want to give us a vote, we can see what our next Tuesday's episode will be. Saturday, we're playing the new Dawnsbury Days Halloween Haunted House expansion that is coming out on Friday. So we're playing it almost as soon as it was released. We actually have it early, but we're not going to play it until we are supposed to play it.
You will see us with it in real time. Oh yeah, we need to figure out for that which party we're playing.
Yes, we'll figure out if people want us to play the
because we may want to
Essence
level up
party
before
or the fighter
before
squad.
folks show up, so they don't have to watch us.
I
level up.
kind of want to play the Essence party because I just like starting with a rank 3 spell.
Then why don't
every
we just
fight.
play the Essence party?
We can.
I'm
All
curious what happens with
So
them
we
too.
have a vote here for Eldamon. We had a previous vote for
3.
portraying the ancient. Does anyone else want to vote for a next Tuesday's exciting episode of Arcane Mark? You will break the tie. If not, we can roll another d6.
Which we didn't.
Or
do
actually, we
last
could
time.
just use the one that we already rolled.
Yeah, we can. What was that?
I
one?
remember what it was. We will use that if there. It was a. Is a 1? Oh, which would be 3, which is the Kojo
Oh, Kojo
changed the
changed
vote
the
to
vote.
3.
There we go.
And Rico was choosing between those two
All
anyway.
right, portraying the ancient.
There we go.
In
So
a
we're gonna
fantasy
portray
world
the
where
ancient.
everything is novel and interesting, how do you really make something feel old and
How do
ancient?
you make it seem old in that fantasy world?
Yes.
Which already things are weird to you,
Mm-hmm.
but they also may be that the
Yeah.
level of that fantasy world is already older than our level in
Mm-hmm.
certain ways.
Yeah.
What does it mean for things to be thousands
Of
of years old?
or tens of thousands of years old?
And
How does magical preservation factor into all of this?
For ancient buildings, ancient creatures that have
Mm-hmm.
outlasted that time.
And what happens
weight
when you
of the
have
ages.
immortals that are around that have a memory that goes back, that stretches back into the past? Time has a different meaning in a fantasy setting.
All right. So that's what we're doing. And Chris voted for Eldamon. There are several episodes you can check out on the channel for Eldamon guides. So far, Chris, but it looks like with Kojo's vote change that we are going to be doing a portraying the ancient 2-1.
So we will keep Eldamon on the list.
Oh, it looks like Kojo won an Eldamon in a Foundry charity giveaway.
And you're, of course,
That's
welcome
cool.
to check out any of our previous Eldamon episodes on our channel.
Yes, we
If you
have
haven't
guides
checked out
to
yet.
a large number of elements that
Mm-hmm.
you can check out and figure out what your element is, because a lot of people I've talked to have an element that is like vibes with them, and they're like, this must be the best element. It has all the things that I like.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I like, because I want everyone to think that the best element is the one that they like, that play style, rather than like, this boring thing that I don't like is the best because it's just stronger than everything else. All right, take care, everyone, and we will see you on Saturday if you want to see Donsbury Days, or Tuesday if you do not